Alright, so welcome to Dark Souls 2. We're doing a little walkthrough here, let y'all know what's going on. So, first step is to go off to the side. You want to go to your right here, and there's a rusted coin down here. You consume a rusted coin and it temporarily increases your luck, so you find other items and stuff like that. Also, you'll notice these little muskrats just running around. They are not hostile, but if you attack them, they will attack you back. And if you attack them while you don't have any weapons and you're hollow, you're gonna die. Trust me. So the first thing you want to do after that is go into here. I'm gonna skip past these cutscenes. If you want to watch the cutscenes, you can see it in your game. And do a little character. This is for you guys. I've skipped past a lot of this character creation too.
You know your own.
You want, for your gift, you want to pick, especially if you're starting out, Healing Words is good. If you're not starting out, Bonfire Aesthetic is pretty good. Other than that, those are the two main ones that are worth getting. I think Bonfire Aesthetics, once you get the vendor who sells them, they're 7,500 souls each. So yeah. First steps first, go up these stairs and get the human effigy in the chest. Human effigies are kind of like your humanities from Dark Souls. Your human effigies return you to human status. I guess you're not completely human, you're still cursed. But you don't have like a number for humanity. You don't have 5 humanity anymore, 6 humanity. And whenever you die, you become more hollow, and as you become more hollow, the more times you die, your health bar decreases all the way down to 50% of your actual health. So you don't want to die too much. Let's see, they got a Soul of a Lost Undead and a torch. Torches are actually pretty useful in this game. I didn't do it here, I was just running through real quick, but you can light your torch and light some of the little, I guess, little light sources. You set them on fire and they give you permanent light. Then you can also light your torches on those things. Not going by those yet, but I'll point them out whenever we do. And I think I went backwards just to make sure. This is a little hidden path. There's this little, I don't even know what he's called, the little ghoul. But he drops a stone ring. A stone ring increases your poise damage, so you're more likely to stagger an opponent, which is pretty good. You also get 1,000 souls. I think the first 2 times I tried to find die. The ideal goal here, in which I'm totally screwing this up, you want him to sit. You don't want him to sit on you. It's easier said than done, huh? I think this first one is kind of long. I probably should have cut through a lot of this battle. Yeah, it takes a long time and he ends up killing me. Second time he comes through his speed. I'm thinking I'm all smart and shit and good strategy by doing this right here. I made him turn around, and as I was running up to him behind him, I didn't have a finger to press the lock-on button, so I used my chin to hit it. That's a game strategy for you right there. And I felt all bad out pulling out all that shit too. And boom, fucking sits on. And I wasted all those goddamn lives. Man, yeah, I fucking even hit him in the goddamn ass and he didn't try and sit down. So bad. Not yet. Alright, make that first step and move. And that is just such horseshit. That's totally nerd rage. And there's the second time I die. I thought I was being clever by trying to walk the other way around this time. Thanks so much. Getting this is the strategy you want to do. Especially whenever he's backing himself up against the wall, you hit him in the side of his butt, and then whenever he stands up, you roll over, and then you sit back down, and you hit him on the other side, stand up, roll through, and you stay on the side. Death is not something that is short in Dark Souls. They have plenty of it. Plenty of death to go around to everybody. Take that, you fat fuck. This little area right here that I just went in, I mean, you can tell because of the bushes there, it's supposed to be a little hidden secret area. It gives you a good ring, and the guy gives you 1,000 souls whenever you kill him, and then you get a chance to kill 2 more. So that's 3,000 souls you get from killing all 3 of these guys in this tutorial area. There's a lot of differences. You can't element enchant your weapon right at the start of the game anymore. You need a dull ember to get McDuff, who is the blacksmith, who imbues your weapons for you. Imbuing is a little bit different than it was in Dark Souls. But yeah, that dull ember you get in the Iron Keep, which is a lot later on in the game. You're gonna have to wait for that. Also, if you kill mobs, I think it is 15 times, they will not respawn anymore. You can use the bonfire aesthetic, which I was talking about earlier, and that will respawn the enemies, but it will respawn them in New Game Plus mode, so they'll be stronger whenever you respawn them like that. So, if you're using it in an area, just be aware that you're gonna make them come back a hella stronger. And then you're gonna go down to this little creek. Oh no! I fell off the waterfall. Oh, nope. And I focused in on this little piece that you saw up on the bridge. That's how you get to it. But I'm sure if you're having a lot of trouble with that big golem dude, you can just run right past it and go through there. And what you really want that for is it's silky and smooth. If you go up to this crow's nest, which we'll see here in a minute, it will they will trade it for something. Titanite, poison shards, fire shards, magic shards. I think this one I got some white ring or something that makes you look like a phantom, and pretty much turns you all white. It's interesting. I'm not too sure about it. I don't know what its uses are. Probably having to deal with PvP. And then on this little corpse up here, there is a dagger. Basically, the purpose of this first little walkthrough is to get you the fire longsword, show you where all the little items are and secret pathways are at the very beginning of the game. You know, I started with the knight. You can start with any class, really. The knight really is my favorite starting class. You can start with if you start with the sorcerer, which I know one of my friends played Dark Souls 1 as a sorcerer and he really loved it. If you're watching this, then that fire longsword, the fire scales with your intelligence. So you can use that fire longsword until you get a magic, which I think scales a little bit higher with intelligence than fire does. Fire also scales with faith, and if I am correct, which I don't know, I'm not too sure about this, but I think fire scales more with intelligence than it does with faith. And I think lightning scales more with faith than it does scale with intelligence. I might. I think dark scales more with faith than it does intelligence. Then lightning is just faith scaling. And then magic is only intelligence scaling. Also, you can start as a cleric too. That mace is really good in Hyde's Tower. If you go over there, you upgrade it to a +3 mace. You can, in two-handing that mace, you can 3-hit the guys with the shields, and you can 2-hit the guys, sometimes 2-hit the guys with the great swords, which is really helpful, man. You can go and clear out that place and farm a lot of souls right there. That very first Dragon Riders boss, the one to the left, you can clear him out pretty easy. All you gotta do is run in circles around him, try and stay on his backside, and hit him periodically after he attacks. He's pretty easy to take down. You get enough souls to get your faith up to 22. Once you do that, you can go and you go up to the top after you kill him, and there's a bonfire, and I can't remember her name. Starts with an L. She sells your miracles, and she can sell you the lightning miracle for I think 6,000 souls, and you can use that to kill Ornstein pretty easily as long as you keep evading his attacks. And then I try that jumping attack. I think I fuck it up. No, I don't. And if you want to jump attack properly in Dark Souls 2, you press forward and R2. You don't just drop down and hold R1 down anymore. There's another little change. There's that cracked red eye orb. Go through the mist. And I mean, if you have a torch, you can light these little things up. You can walk all the way down there, and there's another one that'll illuminate this next mist you're gonna walk through. Make it brighter. Now this guy's gonna shoot arrows at you. I like to hide behind the stump before I kick it down and try and not get hit by an arrow, but I think I do that unsuccessfully right here. Okay, I think this is a jump attack I screwed up. You gotta be careful with those jump attacks. And that arrow totally interrupted my life. The motherfucker done pissed me off. So if I had not killed that troll or golem or whatever he is, I would only have 500 influence. think I'm gonna go and fight 2 at a time, which I'll show you how to do that too. You want to kick down this stump first. This stump, the other side of it is right where those stairs that you kicked down were. So if you do die, you can come back, because sometimes it gets a little tricky, especially when you have both of them at the same time. But the strategy for this one is a little bit easier than just fighting that first one. You're going to go back here, and you're going to go inside this little thing, and they can't walk through there. So you're pretty much just going to bait them to attack, wait till they fall on their backs, and hit them. You got to watch out, because while they're on their backs, the other one will attack you if you get too close. And you want to focus on one at a time. If the other one gets in front with full health, wait for the other one to get back in front before you start attacking. It's just faster that way, and you really don't want to be trying to take both of those guys down at once. Because once you just get that first one down, that second one, when it's alone, is so much easier. Yeah, once you fall down, just go up those ladders. Make sure you exit out of target lock first. I don't know how many times I tried to turn around and go up those stairs while I was on target lock. Whenever they do that, it seems to do less damage when it's attacking. I guess they got pretty hard heads or something. Now see, I didn't take that opportunity to hit him even though he was on his back, because that guy right there, just waiting to fucking attack me. See how he gets up there in front? There we go. Actually, I didn't attack him because I was down with it. Probably. A couple times. But his first instinct, whenever you get hit, to just spam that roll button backwards. If you do, could double roll, sometimes double roll, which isn't that big of a deal. Makes this battle that much fun. But I mean, these guys are 1,000 souls apiece, so that's 2,000 souls for these guys. One down, one to go. Motto, motto. And the real key to this game is knowing when to be patient and knowing when to be fast as hell. Sometimes being fast as hell gets you killed, other times being patient gets you killed. You gotta know which situation is what. Just memorize enemies' attack animation patterns. Ones with daggers like to strong attack or do a flurry of attacks. Guys with axes really like to jump. So whenever you see a guy with an axe, wait for him to jump, roll out of the way, and then smash. You know, little things that you find out as you go along. Motherfuckers have shit tons out. They're hard to kill whenever you soul level, I think, 11 or 12. And also, for anybody who's picking a cleric or a sorcerer as their starting class, we're about to get you some badass treasure. over this branch. Now we get to enter Majula. Majula is the main town of the whole game. This is the place where you come to. All the merchants that you find, I called them vendors earlier. All the merchants that you find, they, if you talk to them until they say that they're going to move on, they will come here to Majula, which is what you want. And this is a little divine blessing. You go over here and you find the right spot. There's going to be a gap in between these rocks right here, and you drop down and you'll find the, if you want to use faith but you didn't pick a cleric, you go right here and get this treasure right under here. You see that little walkway there, and it's the chime that the cleric starts with to cast miracles and Morningstar Mace. Now, I think if you upgrade that Morningstar Mace, it might be able to have the same effect as the normal mace and do some pretty good damage. Also, those binoculars are fucking fantastic for anyone who wants to cast Lightning Bolt or Sorceries. Really help you snipe stuff out. In Dark Souls 1, they were an item in your Estus Flask slot. This game, they are a weapon. You just equip it in your offhand, hold the L1 button, and you'll zoom in and be kind of in first person mode. You'll be able to aim your sorceries or lightning bolts. Then you want to come down here and knock this little rock down. I used a strong attack to knock it down. The R1 attacks weren't doing it. This is the Estus Flask Shards. Estus Flask Shards are a little bit different in this game, or Estus Flasks are a little bit different in this game. The way they work, you start with one, and the lady that we're going to go talk to here in a little bit will upgrade your Estus Flask.
Hello there.
In the previous one, this guy sells you some pretty good armor. Whenever you buy stuff for him and talk to him, he will get better and better gear in his inventory. I went and on my main character, I bought the Royal Soldier's armor. It was pretty alright. I think on my main character, I have the Royal Soldier's chest piece with the hide helmet that you get after you clear out Hyde's Tower and kill the old Dragon Slayer up there. Then I do not have any gloves, and I wear the Rogue boots. I do this to kind of keep in my my range of equipment load so I can roll comfortably. Stamina is also less than it was in
or merely a bearer.
Dark Souls 1. You have less stamina, so stamina is a lot more important in Dark Souls 2 than it was in the first one.
Bearer of the curse, for misery.
In Dark Souls 1, you leveled up by going to bonfires. This one, the only way you level up is talking to
that hope.
I went and I'm skipping past all
Is
these,
that a show? Here, to see light, however faint.
These conversations. You can go and I suggest listening to these conversations on your first playthrough and listening to them and talking to them, because talking to them gets you some good stuff. I end up leveling up here. You want to spend your souls while you can. It really sucks when you lose all your souls. But I waited a little bit later on to do this. There's a merchant in the Lost Forest, which is the place that we're about to go. You want to get about 1,000 souls there and buy the key there. There's a blacksmith here, but you need to buy the key from the vendor. The key is 1,000 souls. You buy that key from the merchant in the Lost Forest, and I'll show you whenever we get to her. And you open up his door, which is locked. And then once you do that, you talk to him, and then he'll say he has to wait to set up shop. And You just go sit at the bonfire, and then I'll be in the station working. You can repair, you can upgrade your gear, and buy some weapons from him. Also, I did not get it in this video, but in his little shop there is a chest behind the door that you open, and there's a short bow in there. And if you plan on adding to your dexterity, that short bow is pretty good to get. On my main character right now, I have it upgraded to only a +3, but I'm wielding 2 great swords, which is why I try to make my equipment load so light. I have 2 great swords, a shield, and a short bow. My strength is 30, my dexterity is 20, so I can dual wield. If you want to dual wield in this game, you need 150% of the stats of each piece of gear. So whichever one has the highest stat in that piece of gear, you want 150% of that. So if the strength requirement is 20, you want 30 strength. And if the stat requirement for your dexterity is 13, then you want 20 dexterity. And the Claymore's stat requirements is 20 strength and 13 dexterity. And the Bastard Sword requirements are 20 strength and 9 or 10 dexterity. I think 10 dexterity. So if you have 20, 30, and 20, you'll be able to dual wield the Claymore and the Bastard Sword. I have both of those at +5 currently on the goal level 70 now. There's also a new stat in this game called Adaptability, and the Adaptability stat increases your agility and resistances. I found it pretty useful. It really helps you with rolling. If you plan on adding a lot to your endurance, I would suggest leveling up your adaptability with it as well. It also decreases the time it takes you to drink your Estus flasks. So, and it's a very small amount. I think your adaptability caps out at level 38. I don't think there's much point in raising it past that point. I think my adaptability on my main character is 17 or 19. And then my endurance is at 20 along with my vigor, which vigor is what you use to raise your health now. Now there's a bonfire. In my first play around, I did not see this bonfire right away. And it's kind of a helpful bonfire to have if you die trying to get to the bonfire in the Lost Forest. So I would suggest at least lighting this bonfire. Now, because I grabbed that Estus flash shard, and whenever I was talking to the lady in Majula who levels you up, you can give her the Estus flash shards, and she will give you another. She will turn that into another Estus flask. So she gives you one to start out, and that Estus shard flask that you find in that well will give you your second one. So all your Estus flash shards are end up giving you more and more Estus flasks. I'm in the gutters right now, soul level 79, and I have 6 Estus shards. And if you find a Sublime Bone Dust, you can burn those. I always burn them in the bonfire in Majula. And it turns your Estus flask into a +1. And if you find a second Sublime Bone Dust, it gives you a +2. All the firekeepers, bonfire keepers in this game out there in the very beginning, they get to talk to. And from what I've heard, I think in Demon Souls, it said something about the bonfire watchers, keepers. Said something negative about them being together, which they clearly are in this game. So, I haven't beat it yet. I'm not too sure what that means in this game, but we will find out. The main reason for coming up here is killing that annoying archer before you kill this little Hide Knight. Because that archer is annoying as shit. The Hide Knight's really not too hard to kill. He makes some really dumb moves. Just wait for him to make one of his little dumb fighting animations and go in there and attack him. He has not killed me yet. I don't know how much of a problem for anyone else he's going to be. I grab all these. He will not attack you until you attack him. So go around and grab these little things first, just in case you die. He's really not too hard. And also, they set ambushes. They will have these undead guys look like they're running and walk behind each other. Beat the shit out of these things and attack them. Yeah, I mean, this guy looks like he's disoriented as hell. Yeah, and also on dual wielding, once you have 150% of the stat requirements for the weapons that you want to dual wield, you hold the triangle button. If you don't meet the requirements, you will just double hand your offhand weapon. And once you're dual wielding, in the dual wielding stance, you just hit L1 and L2 to swing both of your weapons at once. And they have to be the same kinds of weapons. Great swords with great swords. I think you can do an ultra great sword and a great sword. You know, your thrusting weapons together, your slashing weapons together, your hammers. So dual wielding is an option, and I got those two great swords. They do a lot of damage whenever you strong attack with them. And you'll notice I got a little pieces of extra equipment in my slot. Those are part of the the Black Armor edition. You put in the little code online and it'll give you some gear. I don't really find any of it too useful, and I'm not going to use any of it in the slot. It's nothing too impressive, nothing too good. Really don't need any of that gear at all. I don't ever use it. This guy's got some range, so you want to get in there close and attack him pretty quick. Unless you have a shield, you want to block some attack. This archer sucks. There's a guy behind you. Really annoying. And we are almost there, guys. This one was a lot more successful. Jump attacks or falling attacks do not do nearly as much damage as they used to in Dark Souls 1. This little item right here is a guy who tries to ambush you. Make sure to take him out real quick. Then go through these double doors. Oh, I'm showing you which item. Actually, yep, you get the 5 witching urns is on that card. So witching urns are kind of like fireballs. They just do magic damage instead of fire damage. here's that bonfire, and I travel back to Majula to level up our enemies.
Bearer of the seek, lest this
5,000 souls. And no, I don't want to lose them. And like I said, I don't get that key till later, but that merchant's right there and right next to that bonfire. So go and get that key from there. If you're a sorcerer, that is where you get your second soul sphere. Yeah, I think I went, and the requirements for the Fire Longsword, which is what we're about to get right now, is 10 strength and 9 dexterity to hold. For whenever you, in Dark Souls, I think it was, like, you needed 25% of the stats to hold something in 2 hands. You need to have 75% of the stats to hold it in 2 hands. This game, you only need 50, so half of the strength. If it's 9 dexterity and 10 strength to hold with 2 hands, then you need 9 dexterity and 5 strength to hold it in 2 hands. And I totally screwed that jump up. Screw that jump up though, it's not that bad. Just make sure you get this guy out of the way pretty quick and then go right back up. And this area really isn't that hard either. I think I'll pop out those witching urns and kill a couple of the guys from one of the branches up here. What you can do, you can kill a melee and go all the way down. It's really up to your playstyle. A little off with that one. Usually one witching urn will kill him. Hit him right on. Now these guys are pretty easy to take out. You just run up to them real quick and take them out before they realize you're there. Now, up here in this area, there's 2 guys that will come down. It looks like one of them just dropped behind me. I was waiting for them to come, but I don't think they start coming until you walk into this tunnel I'm about to walk into, which you'll get a Soul of a Proud Knight and the Fire Longsword. And there's this Flame Salamander here too, which really isn't too bad. You want to come and get these guys out of the way before you get into the room with the chest that contains the Fire Longsword, because they'll come in there after you and you have to fight in close quarters. Flame Salamander really isn't that bad. He is bad whenever you attack him. Do not attack him. I learned that the hard way. Then you got the Fire Longsword. Oh yeah. Yeah, Fire Longsword does scale with intelligence and faith, so any of the sorcerers or clerics are going to benefit from it pretty good. And it's really good up until you get a better weapon. It's one of the better weapons you can get at the very start of the game. Usually it'll attack Night Shards. I wouldn't suggest leveling it up past +3, but I would suggest leveling it up to +3. They'll do pretty good damage for a while. I know I'm going to be getting the Bastard Sword here in a little bit, and I'm going to get that up to +5 along with the Claymore. The Claymore's not until a little bit later on though. And I think I was killing one of the guys. I think one of these guys, like this guy who's throwing the fire bombs at me. You find more of them here up in a little bit, and they, I think they have a chance to drop the Bastard Sword before you find it. But you do find it in the Forest of Giants, but you can't get it until after you beat the last giant. That's the boss that you encounter in this area. It's in a side area behind a door that's locked, and you get a soldier key whenever you defeat the last giant. You use that soldier key to open that door and go into that area, and it's in one of the chests there. Back to Majula. I think right now I am going to buy me a shield. This is a really good shield until you beat the Pursuer, and then you can get the Drain Lake shield, and the Drain Lake shield is better. This is the Elite Kite shield. It's pretty good until you get that though. I think it's 16 strength to wield the Drain Lake shield. So if you're not planning on investing too much in strength, the Kite shield will probably be pretty good to stick with.
Thanks very much.
And I want to upgrade my weapon, and I realized that I've forgotten the key here, so I'm going back to that merchant in the Lost Forest to get that key. So get to see that here, and like the last one, I just skipped past all the dialogue with her. I do suggest talking to her and going through all her dialogue with her too, because after I would talk to her and go through all of her talk dialogue after you're done with the Forest of the Giants, because that will encourage her to go to Majula, and she'll be there. You can do that before then. You just have to make a trip to Majula every time you want to buy something from her. I think I bought two fire bombs, and I suggest that everybody buys 2 fire bombs, and you'll probably see, I'll show you why here on the next episode. Let's walk through. Come in here, open this door right here.
But first,
You're gonna talk to him. He's gonna tell you that to come back later. Just walk over to that bonfire, rest at it, and get back up and walk into the shop, and it'll be in there, hammering away.
the name
And you can spend souls and buy the Titanite shards to level the sword up a little bit faster. You got 1 Titanite shard in the place where I bought the shield that you saw earlier. You go up there into that chest, and there's 1 Titanite shard, and that will level your sword up to the 1st level. You'll find other Titanite shards throughout the game. You can level up pretty casually. I mean, it's all up to your playstyle and how you want to do it though. If you want to wait to get them or farm the souls to get it leveled up to +3 as fast as you can. That's 1 Titanite shard for the 1st level, 2 for the 2nd, 3 for the 3rd, and then 1 Titanite slab, large Titanite shard for the 4th, and 2 large Titanite shards for the 5th.
I'll be around.
You want to be spend your large Titanite shards a little sparingly at the beginning of the game. Whenever you get to the gutter, you'll be able to farm the Titanite shards. It'd be good to use we found 2 rusted coins, I believe. Those rusted coins, and then from the vendor